If you are an 18-year-old who's just done A-level French, for example, then you are ahead of a 16-year-old who's struggling with a GCSE French. You are light years ahead of a 9, 10, 11-year-old who's just starting French. You therefore have the ability to monetize your knowledge of French. When I get asked what kind of side hustles people should be doing, or how do you come up with ideas for side hustles, I think people miss the fact that ultimately, a side hustle is just an opportunity to make money alongside, your main job, or, having a second or supplementary income. And it's actually shouldn't be a difficult thing for you to think about, because having a side hustle is really monetizing a skill set. And all of us have got skill sets, and all of us have got very, very different skill sets. And this is something I spoke about a lot during COVID, actually, because it was a time where people were losing their jobs or being furloughed from their jobs and thinking, how am I going to earn some income? And people don't realize that they have got oodles of skills, that they are so much better than their friends, peers, whoever at. You don't have to be a world expert in something to be able to earn money from it. If you are an 18-year-old who's just done A-level French, for example, then you are ahead of a 16-year-old who's struggling with a GCSE French. You are light years ahead of a 9, 10, 11-year-old who's just starting French. You therefore have the ability to monetize your knowledge of French and charge these people who are effectively behind you, and you only have to be one page ahead of someone in the book to know more about the book than them. So look at yourself. What skills have you got that you are better than other people at? But don't be a perfectionist. You don't have to be a world expert in something. Maybe you are a photography buff in your spare time, and that makes you thousands of times better than most of the general public at photography. Therefore, you might be capable of doing wedding photos, of doing birthday photos, of doing corporate photos for somebody. Like I said, maybe you can speak French, maybe you're good at gardening, maybe your hobby like me. I mean, my first job, I was a magician, and that came from monetizing a hobby. I'd loved magic since I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I spent probably from 8 until 15, spending all my free time with it, getting all my Christmas and birthday presents to be magic toys, magic things. And when I was 16, I went to work in a local restaurant, and I didn't even get paid. And this is another story in itself, and a story for another day. But I was working in this restaurant. They didn't pay me, but it was a great environment where I could earn tips in. And look, I could go on and on and on and on. You've all got skill sets. You might be great at football, managed a local kids team. You might be great at tennis, and you can give lessons to the grannies down at the local tennis courts. You've all got skills that you can monetize. It's not complicated when you start to think about it like that. You don't need me to come and tell you what's best for you. You know for yourself, but the simple principle you need to understand is, have you got a skill? How can you monetize it? And you've all got lots and lots of skills. But don't worry about being a world-class expert in them. Just know that there's always so many people who are not as good as you at that thing, and they will be willing to pay you for your expertise. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the 5-Minute Business School. If you have, press like. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, please make sure you do, and leave a comment, leave a review, share, and tell your friends all about it.